Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Droid Life Show, episode 153 today. It is Monday. I was going to say Friday. It is Monday, October 2nd. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, Tim. Tim's here.
Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here.
So that threw me off because it is a Monday. We're doing a Monday show. We weren't able to do a show on Friday, but we wanted to do it today as like sort of a special Google event preview, which we would have done on Friday. We just weren't able to. But anyways, we're doing this now because it's just, this is like one of those big events of the year whenever Google hosts this hardware event, which they've done now for a handful of years. This is obviously a really, really big one once again. So I want to talk a little bit about it. It goes down on Wednesday, October 4th at 9 a.m. Pacific. I'll be there on hand for those festivities. We'll have tons of coverage that day, so you'll definitely want to check out the site all day long on the 4th. And then we'll try to maybe put together a sort of not after party, but kind of an after show later in the week to really talk about all the stuff that's official. So anyways, on this show, we'll run through what you could maybe expect at the event. There's also some new rumors, some new pictures, that sort of stuff going on. We actually have some other news too, though, like the V30. We know when it's launching in the US. There's a Nexus Pixel October security patch out, Google Assistant on Android TV. Amazon announced like 15 things last week, all of which kind of look cool, even if you're not into the Amazon ecosystem of Echo devices and that. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on, but we just wanted to give you guys sort of a quick recap of the Pixel event preview stuff to catch you up before we get there. So yeah, thanks for joining us on this special Monday episode.
That's a lot of stuff.
So much stuff. There's a lot going on. This is a fun time of the year. It's because we're hitting that we're now at Q4. So when you hit Q4, right, you got the holidays coming up, and Google always kind of wants to be the last, it seems like, to announce a bunch of stuff. I don't know if that timing is good or bad, but it's just the way they do it. So all right, so the Google, what are we calling this? The Pixel event? I mean, there's not just Pixel stuff there. There's going to be other stuff, but Google's big fall hardware event extravaganza. Yeah. So again, October 4th, that is Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. It is live streamed, so I'll be there on hand, but we'll have it live streamed up on the site, Google's channel, all that stuff. Everyone can watch and participate in this. So as you guys know, we'll get Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL. Those are the phones that Google will unveil. The Pixel 2 is the HTC made smaller version. The Pixel 2 XL is the LG made slightly bigger version. Those won't be branded HTC or LG. These are Google's Pixel phones. They just hired those two companies to produce them since they have the facilities and all of that stuff. So that's who's making them. As we revealed a while ago, I guess last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, pictures of them. We know the colors, we know the pricing. Pixel 2 coming in at $649 and $749, and that's for 64 gigs of storage, 128 gig storage. Pixel 2 XL in at $849 and $949 for those same storage amounts. Specs, I don't know that we have like confirmed official specs, but we think 6-inch Quad HD AMOLED display on the Pixel 2 XL, 4 gig RAM, Snapdragon 835, 12 megapixel rear camera. Already talked about the storage. And then the Pixel 2 is smaller, 5-inch 1080p display with those same specs. Of course, the regular Pixel 2 is not the all display front, but the Pixel 2 XL is. So there are some differences there. And then, of course, there's just differences because they're made by different people, even though Google, I think, tried to keep the looks of them pretty similar. In terms of new stuff, though, today, Ev Leaks has kind of had one of those days where he's dropped a bunch of stuff. So he showed us the first front pictures of the Pixel 2 XL, and it definitely has front-facing dual, looks like stereo speakers, which is awesome. I mean, I think the last time, well, it's neither Nexus phone or Pixel phone last year had it, but the Nexus 6P was the last of Google's to do it, except that thing. I had one sitting here a second ago. That was a large device, right? Like 5.7 inch, but it had the dual stereo speakers. They had big old bezels. Like that was before we got the all display stuff going on. This, they kind of tucked the speakers to the top and bottom as far as they could. Still that mostly all display front. I mean, there is some bezel. They had to pack all that stuff in. And it looks like black front on both the black and white version and the all black. So for those of you wondering about that Panda version, what the front might look like, looks like it's going to be black, which is
Thank
good.
God.
Yeah. So yeah, so we got these new pictures. They also show a little bit of change to the UI of what I'm assuming is just the Pixel launcher. Looks like they're going to move the almost dropped a phone. Looks like they're going to move the search bar from the top. Well, it used to be, I guess, on the Pixel launcher was that little search pill. So that's moving down right above the, I guess, the navigation buttons, and then above that is the 5 apps you would typically keep in your dock, and then you swipe up right to get to your other apps. Kind of interesting. I don't really like the look, but
It's different.
maybe it'll grow on us. I'm just wondering, as you swipe that up, does the search bar stay there, or is it coming up to the top of where the apps are?
Yeah, that way you can search through your apps and all that. Like that
Right?
makes sense.
Must be. Yeah. So that's how that's going to work. And then in place of the little pill Google button, and then what used to be the weather, it now just kind of looks like a mini Google Now feed in a way. It's like the screenshots we're seeing show dinner with Layla in 30 minutes, meeting or whatever dinner is from 8:30 to 10, and then it says the weather. So that could be an always changing sort of widget up top there that could tell you whatever your next event is and things like that. But overall, what do you think of the look? This is the first time we've seen the front of the Pixel 2 XL.
Yeah, I have to say, like, it's not exactly what I was expecting from the front. I mean, we've been hearing about edge to edge or, near bezel-less display and all that. And, now that we have the V20, I thought it was going to be a bit more V20-ish, except I do realize, now with the reports saying that there was going to be dual front-facing speakers, we have to have room for those to be there. And I get why they're there, right? I mean, Google doesn't want to completely piss off all those 3.5 millimeter headphone jack fanatics. So it's totally fine. This is actually growing on me. At first, I wasn't really a fan. I was like, oh, what the heck? I didn't think it looked very good. I thought it was kind of weird that we have the rounded display with big bezels. I just thought it looked kind of funky.
Yeah.
But it's growing on me. And that Panda, it looks pretty good to me. I'm actually really excited for it now. Like, as we're just talking about it, I keep liking it more and more. So
yeah. So when the first picture came out from Evan, it was like, I think you and I both kind of went, that's kind of a lot of bezel. It doesn't look as like I was initially pretty excited. You were kind of like, and then I saw the second picture, and then I was with you. I was kind of like, now that I've seen both versions, including the white and black or black and white version, it's starting to grow on me a little bit more. And like I'm holding the V30, which this is still the preview unit. I know the phone comes out in a couple of days, but so I'm looking at it like I'm trying to like match it up to see like how much different it is. So the top and bottom bezels do look slightly thicker on the Pixel, and it's obviously because those speakers are there. So I think it's going to be slightly taller than this phone, and this phone is like a really, really nice size. Like the V30 in hand, just stop it, whatever you're doing. There you go. The V30 is just fits really, really nicely in hand, and at the end of the week, I did kind of a picture comparison of this to a bunch of other phones to kind of show people like this is what you should expect from the Pixel 2 XL. Now you have to change that a little bit. Like I think it's going to be this Pixel 2 XL is going to be a little bit taller, and it's because of those. I don't think it's going to be unmanageable by any means. I think it's still probably going to be a hell of a lot smaller than say like the Nexus 6P or even the Pixel XL. So here it is next to the Pixel XL. So it has a 6-inch display, right? And it's still a little bit smaller than that. So I guess maybe it'll be about the same size then because of those speakers than this. So yeah, I think overall I really like the look. I think it's a unique, that black and white sort of color blocked or whatever it is look. It's kind of cool. And then the front, you have mostly display. We do get stereo speakers back, which like you said, is kind of seems like well, here, we'll give you these if we can take away your headphone jack kind of thing. I like it. I think it'll be great. I don't think it's like the prettiest front of a phone I've ever seen, but there's not a ton to hate on there. I'd just be nitpicking, right?
it looks fine. I'm sure it's cool. Like we're just like, getting a little spoiled now because he's essential with like no bezel and I don't know. It reminds me a lot of a Galaxy S8. That's what it sort of looks like to me. If the sides had a bit more of like that infinity display, but really it looks like an S8 with a little bit elongated like forehead and bottom chin. But which is fine. Like it's a good looking phone, and I love the back. I love the orange power button,
Yeah.
Panda version. I'm really liking it, but of course we'll have to save a lot of my opinions for once we actually see it this week.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think like when you compare it to the other one, the regular Pixel 2,
Oh God.
it looks pretty good. So Evan also posted up pictures of a new picture I should say, or a press render of the front of the regular Pixel 2, the smaller one, and I mean it's just starting to look dated at this point. Like those top and bottom bezels, which also house stereo speakers, they look thick. I mean, they just look, especially when you compare it to the Pixel 2 XL, you just go, my lord, those things are huge. And I'm even looking at it like, yeah, I guess they're about the same size as last year's. Look at how greasy that thing looks. Same size as last year's. Um, so like this is last year's regular smaller Pixel. So like those are the bezel, there's top and bottom. It looks like that. Except they did pack an extra speaker in. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone should be tempted to get the Pixel, like the Pixel 2.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would be interested. Maybe like price or something, even though the Pixel 2 XL is only going to be like what, another $100 or $200.
Yeah, I mean, over the 64 gig versions, it is a $200 difference. So they are a little bit further apart, right? But it seems
Still,
like one of those things you splurge for. I like size wise, I don't think they're going to be that much different. So here is, to get back on that comparison thing. Here is the V30 next to the regular Pixel. So it's not like that. It's not even that much bigger, right? So
and we're talking, I mean, the front is nearly all display. So if you are thinking about picking up one of these phones, get the Pixel 2 XL, but don't get it too quickly because Google's definitely going to run out of stock like they do every year. And I need to make sure I get myself one. So wait for me to order, then you can go ahead and try and order one yourself.
So Ev Leaks in a post to VentureBeat wrote that he believes the regular Pixel 2 will be available. Well, I'd imagine pre-orders will probably open up on Wednesday, but he said that it'll come out on October 19th and that the Pixel 2 XL not for another month.
What?
Till mid-November is what he said today.
I don't believe it.
So it might only be the Pixel 2 for pre-order come Wednesday, and the 2 XL, I mean, maybe they won't open pre-orders for a couple more weeks. So that's like
Hate my life.
Yeah. So he's saying it'll be pretty soon on the regular one, another month and a half for the big guy, which is what we want. So that's kind of disappointing news, right?
That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Was that in the actual story that was he posted alongside?
Yeah, it was.
That's really unfortunate, and that's a bad thing. Oh
Doesn't
man,
that take a little bit out of it? Yeah, it just makes it a little slightly disappointing.
I was thinking I was
We
gonna have.
need everything now.
No, I thought I was gonna have a new Pixel 2 like in my hand here in like a couple of weeks.
It doesn't sound that way if he's right.
I want the small one. Oh man, that's a real bummer. All right,
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a bummer. So yeah, those are the two phones. We'll obviously get our hands all over them hopefully on Wednesday. And other than the disappointment of that timing now, should be good times there to play with the brand new phones. These are often the phones that we most look forward to each year.
Well, hopefully Essential will launch the white version of their phone. Give me something to play with before Pixel 2 XL.
I don't think the white back of the Essential phone is going to fix its terrible camera and terrible software experience.
Software is getting better thanks to updates.
I mean, I used it a lot over the weekend, and the software is still pretty shitty. It's still just really slow. It slows down. You have to clear all apps and stuff like that, like we did back in the day. You essentially need a task killer for the Essential phone.
Damn.
I'm going to install Advanced Task Killer. Is that what it was called? Advanced Task Killer? Was that the big one? Advanced Task Manager? I can't remember.
It's killer or something.
Yeah.
Deborah's asking for the prices. Was it $649 starting for the Pixel 2 and then $749 or was it $849 starting?
Yeah, so Pixel 2 64 gig is 649, and then Pixel 2 128 gig is 749. It's $100 difference there. And then the big guy Pixel 2 XL 64 gig is 849, and then Pixel 2 XL with 128 gig is 949. So
Whoops.
there's a $200 difference between both models.
That's good.
From Pixel 2 to Pixel 2 XL. Yeah,
I get why people are pissed about this. That sucks. That's really expensive. However,
expensive, yeah.
I will say if you are a current owner of a Pixel or a Pixel XL, get your trade-in for your device right now. Like Google's actually pretty generous, I think, with their trade-in values. I think I've got a 32 gig blue Pixel XL. They were going to be like 400 some odd bucks.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
are.
That's the way to do it. You guys get your trade-ins in, or get your ducats up, because you're probably going to want these phones, but you're not going to want to pay almost $1,000.
Yeah, so Google is they opened up their trade-in program on the Google Store. It's already open, and if you have a Pixel, so if you have a Nexus phone, you've already been able to check the prices on those. They're not offering a ton, I don't believe. But if you have a Pixel and you want to trade that in for a new Pixel, yeah, they're offering crazy amounts. I think a 32 gig small Pixel, they'll give you $350 as long as it turns on and is not cracked. Like they will give you $350 for that. And then if you have a Pixel XL 32 gig, they'll give you $400. Like that's a pretty good deal. What's really sad about that though is the 32 gig, they'll give you 400, and the 128 gig, they'll give you 410. Give you an extra $10 if you paid all that extra money for all that extra storage.
They're ripping you off.
They yes, they kind of are.
Still, that's if you're a Pixel fanboy, it's definitely the route to take. Like no doubt.
Yeah.
Like that's more.
No one else is going to give you that much money for a Pixel.
Yeah, like I'm not going to be able to sell for that like on Swappa or anything like that. So
I would kind of doubt it. We just saw, was it Woot.com last week was doing a like flash sale on refurbished Pixels, and they were only charging like $350 for them. So it's like refurbed that they're reselling. They wanted $350, and Google's going to give you that for your used one just to take it off your hand. So not a bad deal. I was just looking at the trade-in thing again. So if you, where is that? The Nexus 6P, if that's what you're trading in, Google will give you $150 for it.
Okay, kind of painful, but
if you have a Galaxy S7, same thing, $150.
What about an S8? Will they even take it?
I forgot to look up the S8. Let me look.
All right.
I can find out pretty quickly since this thing is live. Well, I used to have to like tweak the damn site to get it to show. Let's see, Samsung.
Really, like term
64. Yes. 258 is all they will give you for a Galaxy S8.
That's hurtful.
And the S8 Plus, 290. So if you have a Pixel, a year-old phone, they will give you $400. Well, Pixel XL, $400. A brand new S8 Plus that's only been out for how many months? They'll give you $290. Is all. So they love Pixel.
Apparently,
Pixel it's like a special Pixel bonus program. So anyway, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Like if you want the new Pixels and you own a Pixel, I would say do it. You're never going to get that much money for it ever again. If they'll give you $400 for a Pixel XL, just do it.
Do it.
Yeah. All right. So that's Pixel news for the most part. The rest of the events, like we talked about on the last show we did, we're expecting the Pixel Book, which would be the new high-end Chromebook. It's essentially replacing the Chromebook Pixel line that Google used to do. It's going to be expensive, but it'll fold into, it's a convertible. It'll fold into a tablet if you want. You'll be able to buy a special Pixel Book pen for an extra $100. But yeah, it's going to be expensive. $1,200 for the 128 gig, $1,400 for the 256 gig, and $1,750 for the 512 gig. So we're talking about some serious cash. And we talked on the last show about how like this is still a Chromebook. I think people are going to struggle to want to fork out that kind of cash. At the same time, I argued that my wife and I have both the original and then the second Chromebook Pixels. We both still use them. They're still awesome. They're still as fast as ever. They still work fine. But in the end, these aren't like full computing. Like you can't install a whole bunch of different apps. Like you can't install Microsoft Office unless there's like some web version I don't know about. But like there are limitations to the apps. You can't install Photoshop. Like there's a crappy Android app version of Photoshop you can install, I think, but it's just not the same, right, as what you can do on a full blown computer.
Yeah, Google talks about the future of the web, being sort of app based or apps based on the web. I have to like kind of like say slow your roll. Right? I think web based apps are crap, like as they are
Most of
right
them.
now. There's a lot of them that are totally crap. And so the idea of spending that much on a a laptop based on Chrome OS at this point, with Android apps still being like in beta, basically, it's just not worth it to me, man. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, so I would love to be able to ditch my MacBook Pro when I travel and use a
Sure.
Chromebook. I would use a Chromebook Pixel. I would totally spend 1,200 or 1,400 bucks on this new Chromebook Pixel if I could leave my MacBook Pro at home, but I don't think I can because and I know not everyone's like you and I, but I do a whole ton of work with photos in Lightroom. I also do a whole ton of video editing in Final Cut Pro. Like I just can't do that stuff on that. Like there are apps that will allow me to do some of it, but they're not built for efficiency yet on Chrome OS. Like there's some stuff missing there. And I can still do most of the stuff I want. I mean, I do almost all my work all day in Chrome, right? You laugh at me because I have 200 tabs open at all times,
Mhm.
and the Chromebook Pixel I use, when I fire up all those tabs, it runs it flawlessly. Right, the battery life's pretty good. It has a fancy touchscreen, has all that stuff. But there are some apps that I just need that aren't on Chrome OS, and I don't see them getting there anytime soon. So unless Google can figure out some ways to get creative types or people like you and I that do that sort of creative work, it's going to be tough for a lot of people to like really jump on board with that stuff. Um, so yeah, I think this device will be awesome, but I still think it's going to be tough for people to try to justify that price, knowing that there are just still some limitations there.
Yeah. Oddly, Timbot Willison in the chat says, this guy knows nothing about web apps. I hope that's true because the web apps that I have experienced personally, I think they're kind of like gimmicky. Like they just don't really accomplish as much as I would hope so. I mean, especially if we're talking a Chrome OS laptop that's going to cost that much, and it's going to cost the same amount that I got my new MacBook Pro with, and I can't do half the stuff that I can do on this Pixel Book that I can on my MacBook Pro. I mean, really, that it's like weighing apples and oranges, in my opinion. I mean, one can actually perform tasks while the other can't. I just don't see why anyone would spend money on something that doesn't necessarily do not even half of what the other one can. And I'm not even talking like, this is not a Mac versus PC versus Chrome OS thing. Like, you could get a PC laptop, like a great one, for maybe even cheaper than that. So I just don't see it yet. I don't think it's there yet. Maybe one day down in the future it will be. Or maybe Google is going to like revolutionize web-based apps, and Android apps are all going to be compatible on Chrome OS starting next week or whatever. We don't know. But the point is, as it stands right now, I personally don't see it.
I just think there's still tons of work to be done. If a lot of because they're obviously trying to tap into Google Play to get access all of those apps, which makes a lot of sense. Like that's already done; those apps are already available. If you can
Totally.
tap into those and make them available on Chrome OS, which they're doing, and it's still, I believe, still technically beta, that whole situation. Um, and some of it works okay. But again, some powerful tools, and again, you and I could be completely in the minority here. There's just some stuff that you and I can't do, and I wish we could. Like my wife, she uses Chrome OS, and that's all she needs. She doesn't need like she can access Google Photos and do some photo editing through there. Most of the stuff she does is either Facebook, on other websites, whatever, right? Like she uses it like a normal person that doesn't need like powerful tools. And that's probably most people. So maybe it's just unfair that we're like, no one's going to pay that. But you can also go buy the Samsung Chromebook Plus or whatever the hell it's called, which is pretty highly spec'd and it's $500 and it's a convertible and uses a pen and all that stuff too. So I'm just trying to figure out, why would you fork out? And look, that gets all the updates when Google stuff does, right? Like Chrome OS, like they update in the background, they just get automatic updates. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, how is Google differentiating the Pixelbook from like all those other affordable, and some of which are pretty nice Chromebooks? And I don't know that they necessarily are, other than like, we designed it and look how cool it looks.
Well, see, that's my thing. Like, I have nothing, I guess, let me clarify my stance here. I have no problem with Chromebooks or Chrome OS as a thing, right? My problem is the price tag that they put on some of these machines, right? If all you need, like, if you're not a creative type, I wouldn't even label myself as a creative type. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you can get the same thing, or if you can get whatever you need, your web browsing and a few Android apps like that for like $200, because there's some really cheap Chromebooks out there. They sell them on the Google store. You can find them. There's like a billion of them. Then just do that. If you're really going to spend that much, why not get a full-blown PC? And then I will just say, like, this is not you or my like forte. Like, we don't really talk about Chrome OS or, you know, other Chromebooks all that much, because it's just sort of not our thing. But I get why people would enjoy it, and, you know, I don't even know. I'm triggered.
Well, like you just said, you and I don't review computers. So like, you don't even have to listen to us talk about this. We're just trying to say, like, in our view, we couldn't switch full time over to Chrome OS. And I wish that I could. The tools for what I do, you and I do, aren't there. Somebody mentioned in the chat, most people probably totally could. And I actually, a lot of people, I kind of point them, like, if you just need like a sweet little laptop at home, just buy a Chromebook. You can get a nice one for like $200, $300, even $400 to be like a high-end one, and it'll be perfect for you at home. And I was kind of telling, like, unless you need like some other powerful apps, which most people don't need, they mostly just need the internet, right? So I actually do recommend Chromebooks to people. You and I just can't, unfortunately.
Right. I remember, like, when the Android app situation was getting good and it rolled out on the developer channel, we were like, dude, we might actually try and like use nothing but Chrome OS for a week. That didn't last very long, because we realized that we can't like import photos and, like, you know, work with our site very well in Chrome OS. Like, so,
Yeah.
you know, that lost traction, but we did try. You know, we want to like Chrome OS. So,
And I actually do, for the most part. I just can't. Not at this point. Maybe that'll change. Maybe they'll announce some crazy new stuff and we'll go, oh yeah, $1,400 is a deal.
you can just leave a Chromebook on your coffee table, have like your little web browser, convertible things, doubles as like even a tablet. Like, they're cool little machines. It's cool hardware. Just not for $1,500.
Right. And you have to also remember, well, I did buy the second one, but the first one, like, we got for free. Like, I got it at IO a long time ago. Second one I did buy, I think, but they are the computers my wife and I use when I'm not sitting at my desktop. I totally use a Pixel. Anyways, so we expect that to come. I don't know when that will go on sale, the Pixelbook and its Pixelbook pen, which will be an extra $100 on top of that, by the way. I don't think we've seen them pass through the FCC. So
just say that the Pixelbook pen really pisses me off. Like, again, we're talking about this $1,500 machine that you have to get this accessory for. Yeah. Just get that Samsung Chromebook Pro or and the Plus. Both come up, and I think they're like $500.
The Plus is like $450. I think I just looked. Like, that's a hell of a deal, and it comes with a pen.
Got good specs. Like, dude, just get that Samsung when you're spending a third of the money. It's ridiculous. Google, what are you doing? Like, I've seen people talking in the chat like, oh, Google's trying to be like Apple. Yeah, they're being stupid. Like, they just think money grows on trees for like the average American consumer.
The Chromebook Plus is $450 on Best Buy right now, and it comes with a pen. And the Pro is $500. Well, it's on sale at Best Buy. That's crazy.
At least Google's not coming out with these like $250 wireless charging docks, you know, like Apple's doing.
Just
like,
wait, they just signed a new program apparently.
God,
they're coming.
Lord help us. Well, I'll be there to call them out. Like, okay. I have no problem talking smack to Google.
All right, so outside of the Pixel Book, which Tim won't be buying, Google Home Mini, we talked about this a couple weeks ago as well. Google Home Mini just going to be a smaller Google Home. It's not going to be the big guy, not going to be customizable bases and stuff. It's going to be a little guy, like an Amazon Echo Dot. Put in all your rooms. It costs $50 a piece. And then we also think we're going to get a new Daydream View headset, which I mean, I don't really care. The other Daydream View is fine, unless this one has like a really, really new powerful remote, because the other remote's kind of limited on the original Daydream View, and this thing is $20 more, so there's got to be something else there, right? We just don't know what that is yet.
I'm still gonna get sick, so I don't care.
Yeah, you still will get sick. Other than that, in terms of new stuff that we haven't talked a bunch about, we think we could get Android 8.1. And the reason I say that is when the Pixel 2 went through the FCC, it was running 8.1. So I'd imagine 8.1. And last year when the Pixel and Pixel XL were announced, they were running 7.1. And it did have some new features. A lot of it was just Pixel experience stuff. So it's tough to say like what new will be in 8.1, but it'll be a maintenance release and it could be a big deal. I don't know. And then we think we might get Google Assistant on Chromebooks. Backing up to that for a second, Google Assistant could be there. There's some mentions of it in Google Assistant right now that it works on Chromebooks, except it actually doesn't, even though it says all over the place that it does. I don't know that justifies a $1,500 price either, since all the other ones will get Google Assistant. But Google Assistant on Chromebooks could be kind of cool if you just long press your little search button and ask it for stuff. Like that's actually kind of cool. And outside of that, I don't know that we're expecting too many other surprises. Oh, Google Lens. Remember Google Lens from Google I/O? Google Lens, it's basically like Bixby, where you can like look at landscape things and monuments, and it'll tell you them. It does some other things too. Like if you just if you pull up one of your old photos and Google Lens it, it'll like tell you about it and stuff like that. Whatever. That's finally coming, I think. I'd imagine that'll finally be here. That might be like a Pixel exclusive for a little bit. Maybe not. It shouldn't be, but yeah, Google Lens. I know you're really excited about that.
I'm fine. That actually looked really awesome. It's just
that was one of those cool demos they did, and then it's been months now. We've all kind of forgotten about Google Lens.
Google Lens is really, in my mind, just sort of the grouping of different services that Google already offers under like one roof, which is fine. Like Google Translate, the app already does stuff like Lens, or there was Google Goggles. I mean, really, it's this culmination of everything that Google's already done into a single app, which is great. So I'm just, I'm not, Google reinventing the wheel. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you're right. Lens does kind of combine a whole bunch. So that's right. It does translations too. I forgot about that. But anyways, yeah. So we'll probably see that, and that'll probably do it for the event. And again, unless there's some surprises. Like I know there's been talk recently about a more powerful Google Home with stereo speakers and stuff. There's like this rumor that there's one coming with a touchscreen like Amazon's Echo Show, although I highly doubt either will be at this event. But there's talk of those two things happening. Other than that, there was this BS rumor last week that kind of had its moment in the limelight about a third phone called the Ultra Pixel. We did not report on that because people thought it looked like BS from day one. If you don't know what we're talking about, that's just Google it. I'm not going to like call out any special attention to it, but that was a rumor that happened for a minute and people kind of tried to get excited about it.
It's actually a really interesting story if you just want to spend like 30 seconds on it.
You really want to talk about the Ultra Pixel?
So cool, right? I mean, because so many people, emailed us like, oh, why aren't you talking about the Ultra Pixel or blah, blah, blah. I can just sum it up in 10 seconds, but one person was like smart enough to create this render, post it on the web, and get all of these websites, like these reputable websites and even MKBHD, to retweet his nonsense, his made up renders. And then he came out a couple of days later saying, I made it all up. I got you.
Wait, somebody actually admitted to making it all up?
The same guy who originally posted it made another video, a follow-up saying, I made these. You didn't see that?
No. What? This is really great now.
The story's so amazing. because he came out and was like, look at all these websites, how that fell for my render, blah, blah, blah. Because he's a graphic designer or like a hardware concept designer. And he wants these companies to hire him. And he's just showing off his skill in 3D model.
Okay, this is like breaking news. Wait, wait. So who was it that? Not the guy that posted that video.
Yes, that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm on his channel right now, and he didn't make a video out of it. He just say it on Twitter.
It could be that could have been his secondary channel. I don't know that he used just to do that leak. I forget the channel's name right off. If someone has it, feel free to link it in the chat or put his name in the chat. I know someone knows what I'm talking about. I could find it. It would just take me like 2 seconds.
I just see him tweeting that the Ultra Pixel is a hoax, confirmed, but
such a hoax, man. And I was just losing about it. Here it is right here. So his name. So the channel's name is Breccia, Breccia.
Oh, that created the fake thing.
Yeah, and the video title is just Ultra Pixel. I did it dash a message to Google.
Look at that.
Yeah. So, and then he goes into detail. He shows you him making the render and the design and then sending out to all these people. And then
that's hilarious.
MKBHD tweeted it, and it's ridiculous. So
this isn't the guy that posted that original video that said like I'm leaking this. That was Mr. Who's the Boss as who did that.
Guy.
So this is like a guy that just is like, haha, look, I clowned everyone. That's hilarious. I did not know that.
That's what made it so funny and an interesting story to share. But either way.
So as is mentioned in the chat, Mr. Who's the Boss was the guy that initially posted up as the leak of this Ultra Pixel thing. And this guy named Breccia, he's the one that posted a video that said, actually, no, it was totally fake. Like, here's how I did it. Yeah. Just so that we get that clear on who's posting what. That's hilarious. I did not know that. No, I totally missed the like video that said, haha, I tricked everyone.
It was pretty good.
I'll have to watch it after we're done with the show. That's fantastic. Wow. All right, then. So anyway, that did happen. There was this fake thing called the Ultra Pixel that actually caught wind for like, I mean, I woke up that morning and like a bunch of people I just chat with regularly were like, what do you think about the Ultra Pixel? And I was like, what are you talking about? And I looked at it and went, well, it looks fake. And then like you and I talked about it and went, this just looks like if we write this up, it's going to have to be like, this is garbage, but this is spreading around. And then we just ignored that. And I wrote up like a little Twitter thread for my personal account that was like, this is what we think. And that was it because it didn't deserve our attention. It's a good thing we didn't give it any more than that. Jesus.
You know, I think we both just felt in our guts that something was off about it, and we just stick to our guns on it. You know, I mean, and plus, if Google had some phone, what, you think any company can keep something secret these days? You know, like they've got some secret phone. Give me a break.
It's really hard to do, yeah.
Come on, especially if it's going to launch at this event. We'd have to see FCC, all this other nonsense. Come on, people. Give the Android blog some credit, you know, who actually do their homework. Come on.
That's fantastic.
It was
so ready to watch this guy's video now. We should just cut the show so I can watch this guy. That's fascinating. But anyway, that does happen. Guys do that stuff often. Yeah. All right then. Okay, so anyways, that is not coming at the event, the Ultra Pixel. But that's pretty much what we expect from the event, though. 2 new phones, Pixel Book, Google Home Mini, new Daydream View. I don't know if we'll see like a new Google Wi-Fi. We haven't seen that show up anywhere. There's no reports of that happening. It's not at FCC, any of that stuff. So, assisted headphones. Well, those are official already. So we probably will see. And this just came out today. So 9 to 5 Google reported that Google created a made for Google program for accessories. So we may actually hear about this. You're right. I did forget about that. Where it'll be official accessory makers that'll make stuff like basically with approval of Google, so you know everything will work perfectly with their products. I would imagine these the new Google Assistant headphones that came out last week will fall under that program. And then, you know, we could see fast chargers, whatever else that will also there, probably other headphones, things like that, maybe docks. So that'll be good. You mentioned it in your write-up on it about how this will be a big deal for chargers because So Google, I know, is like following, I believe, every USB-C standard that they can. They're trying to do it, I think, as cleanly as possible. But the Pixel phones are the biggest pains in the ass to charge because everyone else is using Qualcomm's quick charge. They're using fast charging, that stuff, and Google uses like their own rapid charging, or maybe it's part of the stand. I'm not sure, but all I know is charging a Pixel phone is a pain in the ass. If you're not using Google's charger, it never seems to charge the damn things fast. And I swear that Google's chargers, if you use those on other phones, they almost all want to blow up as they're charging. Like Google's chargers, I hate. So maybe this will clean some of that up, but probably not because everyone else is still using Qualcomm stuff instead of whatever Google's doing.
Right. I have 100 USB Type-C chargers in my house, and only 2 of them will charge the Pixel rapidly, and that's the standard one from Google and my MacBook Pro.
Really?
Charges my laptop. And it's ridiculous. And yeah, the phone gets a little hot, but at least it charges quick. Like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I went out of my way to find like some special chargers like through Amazon. Like what are some of the companies we write up? Like Aoki, I think is their name. Like I think they make a couple, but you have to, they're specifically have to be designed for Google's when everyone else's just works. And I know Google's trying to be the standard, but their shit is a pain in the ass.
It is.
So yeah. Like I have a Pixel charger by my bed, and I tried to use it to charge the Essential phone, and it seriously, I thought it was going to blow the phone. It got so hot that I was like, okay, this is
all the ceramic and titanium where it starts to melt.
It really did start getting hot. So
that's hot.
Scary. All right. I think that's it for that event. We just spent 45 minutes talking about the Pixel event.
That's right. Wade County brings up an interesting point. Google not releasing new Android TV, Android products should be telling what they think about those platforms. Now, before Kellen gets into one thing he's going to talk about, I mean, they did just announce that Google Assistant finally arrived for the platform, so it's not like it's dead. So
yeah, so that's actually a good point. Yeah, so Wade's talking about why no Android Wear there, like no like Pixel Watch or something, right? And then why no new like Pixel TV? I think it is a missed opportunity. Although Google's going to show off like 5 other devices. If you if you tack on like a Pixel TV and a Pixel Watch, I don't know that that's overkill. Maybe those could be like a separate event. Maybe Google needs to start doing like 2 events a year if they're going to have all this stuff. So yeah, we don't know anything about any possible new Google Watch coming. And then we don't know anything about any new Android TV devices. I think what Tim was maybe going to just mention is a new Android Wear beta got announced today, which is kind of related, but we don't know of any hardware. And that new beta, which we'll have a write-up on the site soon, is only for the LG Watch Sport, which has basically been like discontinued everywhere as far as I can tell. I think you can still buy it on the Google store, but like Verizon just canceled it. They don't even sell the thing anymore. So yeah, it is a bit weird. I think that we're not expecting a Wear presence or Android TV presence, but we're just not.
So
it's kind of sad because I think like, well, for one, the Nexus player still still works.
Yeah,
it has Android 8.0. I have it on this monitor right behind me actually. Like it has 8.0. Like the Shield TV doesn't have Android 8.0. This thing does, and it runs pretty well. So I would think it would be nice of Google to release a Pixel TV that has higher end specs that updates this thing. Like if they're going to keep pushing Android TV, it would make sense that they would have new hardware to show off.
Yeah.
But the Android Wear stuff, Google released the Watch Sport and the Watch Style this past year, and they were essentially made in partnership with LG, even though they were LG branded and all that stuff. And I don't think they did well. And I don't know what Google's vision for Android Wear is anymore.
I don't think they know.
No. And I think the Pixel Watch would be cool, but I mean, look, like Apple just released their Apple Watch Series 3 and the LTE version lasts like 2 hours. So I'm not sure like the technology is quite ready for these super high powered watches. Although if the LG Watch Style just had NFC, like it would be one we would probably be recommending regularly. So speaking of Android TV though, NVIDIA Shield, big news this week. NVIDIA Shield TV got Google Assistant, which is pretty awesome actually. Actually, they announced Android TV now has Google Assistant, but it's the only one that got the assistant. Like the Nexus player behind me running Android 8.0 does not have the assistant yet. So
One day.
one day it will. I don't know that they announced that NVIDIA has an exclusive on it. They just said it's coming first to Shield and then maybe other places elsewhere. I think that Xiaomi box, is that called the Mi box? What is that thing called?
Mi box.
Oh, yeah. I think that'll probably get it pretty soon. Who else even makes Android TV? Oh, they said Sony TVs with Android TV will get it.
Yep.
That is never going to show up, by the way. I think I talked about this on one of the last shows where when that got its big Marshmallow update, I think I had a notification from Sony on my TV for like 6 months saying big update coming. And it took 6 months and they finally showed up and it just got us up to, I think, Marshmallow. And
Wow.
now like Nougat's out, now Oreo's out too. So Sony's a bit slow on things.
Andrew's saying, "Remember the Misfit Vapor?" Yeah, I do. It's still coming, bro. It's not vaporware. It's a real product. It's just taking a while for Misfit to launch it. That's all.
I'm still wondering. Didn't they just delay it again? Like they got caught like kind of changing the specs, right? And it no longer has standalone GPS. And then like the day after that, they delayed it again, I think.
And I think the timeline is vice versa on that.
Oh, was it they announced a delay and then we all realized?
Yeah, I was looking right now. Yeah.
No, it was 2 weeks before that we've all realized that they had changed the wording and it was just connected GPS. And then yeah, 2 weeks later they announced a delay.
Right. All right. So
Pretty bad.
I mean, the watch still looks cool. I just don't. It's probably not going to be as cool as we once originally thought.
Nope, probably not. All right, so in addition to NVIDIA Shield now having Google Assistant, which by the way works really great. I don't know if you've been using it at all. So like I have like smart home crap all over my house. So instead of like yelling at Google Home, which never works, I now just like hit the little voice button on my remote and say like turn my bedroom lights on or whatever, and that just does it all now through my Android TV, which is kind of awesome. And I know you can do it through the controller. It has always on, but I think I tried it and that sucked too. So I just grabbed the little mini remote and it works great every time.
Well, there you
go. Love Android TV with Assistant. But in addition to Assistant, the SmartThings Link, which is like the little SmartThings dongle that plugs in the back of your Shield, which was shown off at CES all the way at the beginning of the year. That thing's now up for pre-order, and you should probably just buy one. It's pre-order for $15, and when it's not on pre-order, it's going to be like $40, I think. So if you want to get into the smart house game, it's a good place to start. It essentially turns your Shield into a SmartThings hub, so kind of a big deal.
Pretty dope.
All right. So moving out of all that stuff for a second, LG V30 launch date. We know it's finally coming. Slowly though, right? Not like a big blast of everyone at once. We would want to let everyone get to the party at once, would we, LG?
Well, what's the date?
Well, there's a bunch of dates.
Exactly. There's no launch date.
So AT&T announced that on October 5th, which is Thursday, you can pre-order it. No, you can order it online, which I don't know why the hell you would do that, because on October 6th, you can apparently walk into a store at AT&T and buy it. So that's Friday. So on the 5th, you can order it online, but Friday, you can just walk into a store and apparently buy it. It'll cost $810 full retail from AT&T, or about $27 per month. They're also doing a BOGO deal. T-Mobile, on the other hand, is opening pre-orders on the 5th, so this Thursday, but they won't have it in stores until October 13th, so the following week. Their price is also $800. And Verizon says they will just have it on October 5th, which is Thursday. Not a pre-order. They say we will just have it on that date. And then Sprint said, no, ours isn't going to be here until October 13th, but Sprint is getting the LG V30 Plus, which is the version that has more storage. Like that's kind of the only difference. They're also throwing in some fancier headphones or earbuds or something in the box, but that's it. So Sprint has an exclusive on the LG V30 Plus in the US, but that just means you get more storage and some fancy headphones.
Ridiculous.
It's such a mess. So again, to recap that, AT&T online October 5th, in stores October 6th. T-Mobile pre-order October 5th, not in stores until October 13th. Verizon launching October 5th. Sprint October 13th.
LG, you suck at launching phones.
So bad. And again, here we are. This is still the preview unit. I can't review this. So if you were looking for our review before October 5th, there is no way in hell it's ever coming, because this is all I have is a preview unit. And then we have Google's event. So Google's event, I should like Google's event, LGV30. Yeah. I mean, sorry, but Google's event's kind of a big deal. All right. LGV30.
Job LG.
Good stuff. Yeah. In essential news, we don't have to spend much time on this one, but somebody, Bay Street Research, apologies to Bay Street Research, I have no idea who they are. Some sort of research firm that probably tracks smartphone usage on the internet or something like that is typically what these are. They put out a report that said their estimate was that 5,000 essential phones have been sold.
I was going to say the report said that they got these numbers from tracking phone shipments.
Oh, okay. So it's probably way off and probably not reality. Or do you think 5,000 phones is reality?
I think it's pretty darn close to reality. I think they were being a little generous.
Possibly. I don't know where I stand on that. Do I think Essential only sold 5,000? On one hand, I could totally see that. I don't know who would buy this other than tech nerds that have a little bit of extra cash and like to blow that extra cash, because it's not cheap. All the reviews have said not really bad things, but some specifically really bad things that would make me not want to buy it if I had cash to blow. So I don't know. 5,000 could be that sounds really bad. And I don't know what their goal was. Like, did they want to sell 200,000 right away? I don't really know. I mean, the rollout of being able to buy the Essential phone has been so terrible that like they blew any like early hype, because there was this slow delay before it was actually sold. And then the shipping issues and the return issues. And then when the reviews got done, camera software issues, like it hasn't been a good start. So
it's not a good look. They sort of shot themselves in the foot a couple of times, but I think it's fine. I mean, they have a lot of money backing them right now, thanks to a lot of investments from big names. So it's not like they're just going to fold. I think we'll see an Essential 2. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I think the Essential phone is a decent start for a first timer. They did a lot of things right. Obviously, the camera and software just aren't great. They can fix the software. We don't know about the camera, but these are things they can fix for round 2. And I think because it's Andy Rubin and the amount of money behind the company, I think people will certainly give them a second chance. I mean, I know we will. I like the Essential phone, just has some issues, but I think people will give them a second chance and they'll hopefully like nail all of that stuff the second time around. For the Android world's sake, I hope so, because things can get boring without new players around. And these guys are doing some cool stuff. So
totally agree.
Let's see. Somebody asked in the chat if we have a Moto X4 yet. No. And I actually don't know why. I thought we would have one by now. It's kind of been a weird week and a half. So yeah, no, we don't have it yet. I thought I would, but once we do, I'll let you know. See, I mentioned this earlier, but Nexus Pixel October security patch dropped today. Although none of my Pixels have gotten this bad boy yet, and I've been checking. So the factory images and the OTA images are available to be downloaded on Pixel, Pixel XL, Pixel C, Nexus 6P, Nexus 5X. So you can get the images and all that stuff. But I mean, like we talked about, was it last week or the week before, where a Googler said, actually, do you guys know that the hammer update buttons actually works now? And when you actually hit that, it'll pull it, assuming the files are live on their servers, right? So I just assuming that the files aren't live. I mean, you can download factory images in OTA, but
I figured they're there for download. That means they should be there for like OTA.
You would kind of think so. Well, and when that Googler called out specifically that idea that you could now just hammer on the check for update button, his whole point was that you no longer have to download factory images. Like he said that specifically, like for those of you who don't want to, deal with images and stuff, we've now made it so you could just hit the check for update button and it'll give you the update. So like you said, if you're going to post those, then You should probably make the OTA over the air file live.
Ready.
Let's see. In Google Home News, reminders are actually live.
What?
And I've been using the hell out of them too.
Been using them a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So you would just say the command, set a reminder for whatever, and they show up in your Google Assistant under reminders, or in Google Now under reminder, the Google app under reminders. So it is actually like a cross, it's not platform, but it is like a throughout your Google account thing. You can actually set reminders. So have been doing them. It's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Been really great. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, do you want to talk about all the Amazon stuff now? It's like a whole other show.
It's a lot of stuff they announced.
Yeah. All right. So that's enough for Google. Actually, one more thing. The Levi's Commuter Jacket. You guys remember the Levi's trucker commuter jacket? This is not an ad. I know it totally sounded like I was breaking in for an ad there. It's the what was that called? Project Jacquard.
Jacquard, yes.
Yeah. So Project Jacquard was Google's clothing project, where to make smart, intuitive, touch-friendly clothing, whatever. Anyways, we've been talking about this thing for, I feel like, a couple of years now, back like 2 IOs ago. That jacket with them and Levi's is actually available for purchase now.
Jacquard.
And, does it cost like $350? Yeah, $350.
Well, with a name like Jacquard, I mean, it's got to be pricey, right?
Yeah, and it certainly is pricey. I'm just thinking if it's live on their site now. It was going to be like a short period where you could only get it at like certain places, and then it was going to go live, but that may not have happened yet. So anyway,
Jacquard.
$350 jacket that'll vibrate on you a little bit. You swipe it to change tracks, whatever.
Oh, Jacquard. Sounds fancy. I kind of want one, even though I just kind of want it. I just kind of want one.
I mean, it's a nice looking trucker jacket, jean jacket, trucker jacket. I don't wear them, so it's not for me style wise, but it does look kind of cool. But $350, come on, I'm not buying that shit.
Rock denim jackets, even with a name like Jacquard.
All right, so Amazon announced a whole bunch of stuff last week. We'll try to do this as quickly as possible, but this is like Amazon's cool stuff. So they held an event, and they didn't. Amazon's so weird. Amazon announces stuff and you never know it's coming. Like, leaks don't necessarily happen that often out of Amazon. When they announce stuff, a lot of times it happens at an event and they don't allow press to tell anyone that there's an event going on. So like Google, right? Google announces this October 4th event, everyone gets hyped. Apple does the same thing. They announce an event, everyone gets hyped and talk about it and blah, blah, blah. Amazon doesn't do any of that, hardly ever. So last week, I think I only saw, I want to say it was like Engadget, like on the morning of like Wednesday or whenever all this stuff was announced on the 27th. Like, I think Engadget, like, I saw them write a post that said there's this secret Amazon event happening today. And I don't know if that's because they didn't get invited. I'm not sure why they were talking about it, because nobody else did. And sure enough, Amazon hosts this event, and they announced how many new Echo devices for one. So they announced the Amazon Fire TV 4K, which is their new little dongle. It essentially replaces the Fire TV stick, not the Fire TV, as far as I could tell, even though it's called Fire TV 4K. But it's like a Chromecast Ultra, does 4K HDR, and it is like $70, $80. Let's get it out of the way because it's like the least interesting. It's $70, and it has an Amazon. I don't want to say the word. Here, let me just mute you. There we go. Alexa remote. So it has an Alexa remote and all that stuff. It's probably awesome if you use Fire TV. It comes out in October. But then outside of that, yeah, they announced, how many Echo devices did you just say?
Oh, well, I said 4, but it's actually 5.
Jesus. So they announced the Echo Plus, the Echo Spot, the Echo Connect, and Echo buttons.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts. Plus, they have the Echo Show. Like, they still have that thing, and they still have that Echo Dot thing. Although I feel like they're kind of phasing that out.
And what's that? What's that Echo one that like looks at your fashion wardrobe or whatever? What's that one?
I forgot about that thing. I don't even know, because you still can't buy it. It's still like a sign up to be notified. I want to call it like the Echo Style, but that's not what it's called. Echo Look.
Oh, Maybe, yeah, maybe Echo look. I don't know. I've just never been interested, so
I signed up for it for the wife,
that's
and
nice.
it is
Yeah.
called the Echo Look. Yeah, but you still can't buy it, so they must have just kind of failed. Yeah, no, it's still an invite only thing. Um, so so the Echo is not the Echo that we know. It's like a smaller, like half-sized Echo, right? And it costs $99 and it has speakers and all that stuff. It's probably totally fine. It comes in a bunch of different versions. But like, you know what I mean? Like the original Amazon Echo was like the long tube. That is now called the Echo Plus. So the Amazon Echo is like a half version of the original Echo, which is now called the Echo Plus. And the Echo Plus now comes in some other colors like silver, but it still looks like that original Echo, except it now has like a smart home hub built inside it, which I haven't read. I can't figure out whose hub it is. Like Amazon just built their own hub and it is able to control like smart things and all of that stuff, or did they say like it's basically a smart things hub built inside? Do we know, or is it just their own like proprietary thing?
All we know is that it can connect to multiple wireless protocols. So it's not necessarily just for like one system. Apparently it can work with multiple.
I guess Google Home works in that way, so it must be just similar to that, right? So instead of you used to have to like you could control a lot of home stuff with your Echo, but I think in many ways you needed like a hub to get in on that too. Now that's just like built in, just like Google Home is. So that's called the Echo Plus, and it's also cheaper now. It's 149. Like that original Echo, the big long tube one, used to be 179 forever. So the Echo Plus is the same size, new colors with a smart home hub, and it's now 149, which is a pretty damn good deal. And then the smaller, which is now just Amazon Echo, is $99 with no hub, which is a pretty damn good deal too.
Such a good deal.
Now they also announced the Echo Spot, which is kind of a cool little guy. It's like a little round ball thing that's like it's like the mini version of an Echo Show, except it's not designed like an old 1980s gambling machine from a bar top. Um, so they keep showing it in pictures like next to your bed, like on the nightstand to be an alarm clock or something, show you the weather, but it also has a camera so that, you know, people can hack your house and stare at you in bed all the time. It's kind of creepy, but it does look kind of cool. Just a little ball guy. Like it's what you should buy over the Echo Show. Like the Echo Show, unless you need a speaker, Echo Show's kind of terrible. It's not worth the price. And this thing is $139, these little spots. All right. They also, what did you gonna say? Sorry.
I mean, it has a built-in speaker,
It
so I don't.
does. I think
I
it's
mean,
like a kind of a crappy like Echo Dot speaker though.
yeah, obviously compared to like the show or anything like that, but I think this one looks pretty cool.
I think it looks cool too.
I like the spot. So,
Yeah,
but
it totally looks great. It has and it's a touchscreen too. And it does everything the show does. It just doesn't have a good speaker, I think. But it's smaller, less expensive. You can tuck it away. It's not designed terribly. It just looks like a cool little half Nexus. What was that thing called? The doorstop?
the Q.
Yeah. It looks like they took old cues and hacked off the top and then tilted it sideways.
How could you forget the Q?
And I always forget that name actually. So yeah, the little spots look kind of cool, but they aren't coming till December. So you can pre-order them now though. They also announced an Echo Connect, which connects from your phone or your home's phone line into an Echo to turn it into
A home phone.
a home phone for the most. Yeah, a home phone that's obviously only over speaker then. So then you can place indoor or outbound, inbound calls, that whole thing. VoIP. There's a VoIP adapter, or is that what it is? Oh, there must be an adapter. Either way, you hook it up to an Echo and it allows you to make calls with your voice and all that stuff. However, with Echo now, even all the ones you may already own, you can place outbound calls with those right now anyway. You know, so this Connect thing kind of just lets it be your home phone number connected to it for inbound calls. I am getting that right?
It sounds like it. Yeah. Echo Connect is the one I'm least interested in.
Yeah, it's pretty damn boring because I haven't had a home phone in about a decade.
I think my mom texted me and was like, "Oh, Echo Connect looks cool." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in this automatically. I can't help you.
No.
Sorry."
I mean, and both of my parents, I don't think even have home phones at this point. I think I finally I think it's been a few years even for them, which is kind of shocking, but it costs $35 if you're
It,
interested. And then the last thing I do not get, okay, I kind of get it. They're called Echo buttons. And they pair with your Echo units when you decide to say, like, Alexa, let's play a game. And they're buttons where you can like press them. How do these work? Explain these to me.
Say you're playing a trivia game, Echo will read out a question, and then whoever like buzzes quicker on their Echo button will win the round. So it's going to be a lot of trivia games, like music trivia. There's basketball trivia, football, baseball trivia, etc. And they're going to be rolling out a lot more of these types of games. But then also, this sort of falls under this new Amazon gadgets category that they're launching. So there's still a lot to learn about Echo buttons. They're not even up for pre-order yet.
They're not. You're right. Yeah.
Sort of like a, hey, here's this thing that we're working on. So
watch, they'll end up being the coolest thing. Like somebody will have them, and you'll go to their house, and they'll be like, "Want to play a game with some Echo buttons?" And you'll go, "Sure." And then it'll be like the night of your life.
it's possible. I mean, but a 2-pack is $20. I mean, I'm just like, I guess people have money to spend on stuff like this. Like, I could just play a board game, $20, get the whole family involved. I don't know. Just
Oh yeah, you're right. A pair for $20 because you probably need 3 or 4 at least, right? Unless you just have parties
right.
of 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't see myself like playing this like with my significant other. Like I don't know. It's possible.
Maybe.
I'm down to give anything a try.
All right, so I think that's mostly it, right? I think so.
Yeah.
For the Echo stuff. So yeah, Amazon again, they don't really announce these events. They just all of a sudden go, here's a whole bunch of new stuff, and you go, oh, okay. And they give us these like really, really long press release. So Amazon doesn't invite us to any of their events. They never have. I think we just quit asking Amazon to add us to their event list. But yeah, they announce all that stuff. So if you're in the Amazon Echo ecosystem or Fire TV, you do have a whole bunch of stuff to look at. And look, their stuff's pretty good. Like I have Echo Dots and Echo Shows mixed in my house with Google Homes. The Echo units often pick up my voice a lot better than Google Home, so I do use them sometimes more than Google Home stuff. And I have an Echo Show right here, and it's pretty much worthless.
There you go.
Well, so I think my problem with the Echo Show is it could be cool. Like if this thing had like a screen that I could like swipe open for my home controls, right? And then like press a button to like unlock my door, turn my lights on, adjust the temperature, like without actually using voice, since this thing has a touchscreen. That would be pretty handy. But it doesn't do any of that. And since it's Amazon thing, I can't like video call and hangouts with it, right? I could do it on Amazon stuff, but nobody else I know is going to waste money on an Echo Show. So it's kind of worthless. But it also looks terrible too. So anyway,
there you go. Sounds like love.
Yeah, it sounds like a ringing endorsement. So anyway, that's all the Amazon stuff. In additional news, do you want to talk a little bit about the Huawei Mate 10 Pro? We just got some pictures of it today, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, it's all we got so far. Just a picture. Apparently, it's a really polarizing device because either you love it or hate it. And I guess I could try and describe this for the people listening. It's a phone, and on the front you have a really big display with an extremely thin kind of top bezel, and then an extremely thin bottom chin with the Huawei logo. And then on the back, it looks a lot like a Huawei Mate 9, except that the camera module has actually been separated into 2 separate circular sensors. That have this band, like this bar of differing color going on across the device. And then below that, you have your standard rear-facing fingerprint reader. And then below that, you've got Huawei branding on the bottom. Personally, I think it looks kind of cool. But apparently, not everyone is in agreement with me, which is totally fine. That's just never the case. But a lot of people are saying, dang, that's really ugly, or blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. But other people seem to like it. It's just not all that polarizing to me.
I was going to suggest that it doesn't matter because the phone will never be sold here, but maybe this will be the phone that comes to AT&T. We keep hearing that Huawei is going to work with AT&T and sell a phone in the US, but
Yeah, it's
that's
possible. I mean, and that's the thing, right? Where there's expected to be 3 variants of the Huawei Mate 10, the Lite, the standard Mate 10, and then this Pro model. And I'm assuming if any of them come to the US, it's just going to be the standard. Uh,
mm,
because I mean, Huawei's market, the Pro will probably be marketed really heavy in Asia and Europe. Huawei just doesn't have a huge following here in the US, and no thanks to their own doing. But yeah,
what's fascinating about Huawei is they didn't they just pass Apple as the number 2 according to at least one research firm, like they passed Apple as the number 2 smartphone manufacturer. Wasn't that them that just did that, or number 3?
yes, number 2.
So they don't sell anything here. So it's pretty amazing to think that they sell that many phones everywhere else across the globe and they have zero presence in the US. And I don't know how quickly that could change. But it would be cool if they started actually trying to sell their stuff here. But look, like HTC still can't sell anything. LG struggles to sell stuff here. Like we're pretty locked in here in the US to Samsung and Apple stuff, unfortunately. So, and then Google's making their push. But yeah, Huawei, like this phone's probably going to be pretty good. Cameras will probably be solid, performance, battery life, all because these Mate Pro things or these Mate devices, don't they typically have huge batteries and stuff like that too? But
This phone is going to be so specced out, especially this
oh yeah,
model. The camera is probably going to be insane. It's like branded. I mean, this phone's probably going to be a total beast. And
probably. Yeah.
their software is only getting much better.
Mm-hmm.
So this phone's going to be awesome. And hopefully they send me one.
To play with for a while,
Yeah.
since they won't actually sell it here. All right. In final news of the day, Twitter potentially jumping to 280 characters. I shouldn't say potentially, they are kind of already starting to test it. As you guys all know, Twitter only allows 140 characters in a tweet. Now they're starting to let some people do 280. The quickest hot take you have on that? Go.
I think it's BS. I don't even have it yet. Like
I
both
don't either.
my Twitter, I'm even verified and I've still only got 140. This is bull. Come on,
Yeah, you
Twitter.
would have thought they would have given it to everyone verified, but like the Droid Life account doesn't have it either.
I know. Well, they hate us, so that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's true.
I think it's dumb. My hot take is that I hate it, and that if you can't say what you have to say in 140 characters, I really don't want to hear it. You know, like Twitter is just for like quick things. Like I'm not here to read novels. I don't
Yeah.
care about your feelings, your opinion. Just give me the news or whatever. I hate it. Personal opinion. You can hate me.
I tend to kind of be with you just because I think there was like some beauty in Twitter only allowing 140 because you had to be more careful and precise about what you said. It took some work to say something short and meaningful often on Twitter. That kind of goes away and people are just gonna start rambling and saying stupid crap. And like you said, I don't have it either. So it pisses me off when somebody I'm talking to does. And then to respond to them, it takes me like 2 tweets because there's so much, they just said so much crap in their 280 character tweet that I can't respond in 140 character tweet. So that's kind of annoying. If you're going to do it, just do it for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do this slow rollout thing where now these Twitter elitists. I used to think verified people were bad. Now I'm verified and I still don't have 280. Now these people think that they're super cool. Oh, it really pisses me off, man. I'm never on the winning team. But
Well, I don't have either. Twitter won't verify me. They won't give me 280.
super.
It's hard out here for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. We're trying. We're trying to get you verified. It's hard, obviously.
Apparently, it's really hard. You can't owning like a website that's been verified, the longest running verified Android site in history, basically, and that doesn't help. Like you're verified. I still can't get it. They just hate me. It's fine. I don't need it.
I sent in like a single request to be verified. And they verified. It took like a week, and super. And it blows my mind that they're not verifying you.
They refuse.
Yeah.
I submit it every month too because you can only do it once every 30 days, and they just go. No, usually sometimes it's pretty quick too. Like within the first day, they're like, "Sorry, buddy,
not time yet."
not time."
But like, it's going to make it that much sweeter once they actually verify you. Although you will find out, like being verified sucks. Like it's really nothing. Like all you get more
unless you want to be like in them first slots for Trump when you're talking trash.
exactly what I was just going to say.
That's the only benefit at this point, really, right? Is like when somebody says something, you want to show up first under them, you got to be verified. Otherwise, you just get pushed down to the bottom.
Absolutely right. So,
well, someday,
maybe. Yeah, I mean, I would talk more about Twitter, but no one cares.
No one cares.
I think, someone was saying that they were talking about Twitter is so important, to our society, and that, what would happen, if Twitter disappeared? It was like, another service would take its place. Like, I don't see Twitter as like this.
I'd be forced to use Facebook, which just brings terror to.
Well, sure, but like another service could just come out that does, because they keep saying like, oh, Twitter, it's public now, but they're not making any money. Like, I don't care. Like, I never saw Twitter as a service that should be making money. It's really just like a strict
government to buy Twitter.
Sure. Yeah, well, I just want it to be a strict information sharing platform. Like, I don't think it should be monetized. I never thought it should be. Like, I get they want to make money, and I'm all.
They need to make money to exist. Yeah.
How they do? Because they've got shareholders, and that really messed it up, I think. So you just got.
I mean, at some point they were going to have to make money to exist. They have to pay talent and things like that.
Pay talent? What talent? They finally brought on one guy who was able to bring a dark mode. That's all they needed to do.
That's all we needed was dark mode. Now we're good.
Yeah, I don't know. I could go on about Twitter, but I hate it.
Yeah, hate it. Can't stay off the damn thing.
I know. Addicted.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
There's a lot of stuff going on, but
Android distribution numbers updated, and Android Oreo makes its debut.
Oh, what percentage? Like 0.2?
0.2. That's exactly what it is.
Ding ding.
Yep. Our buddy Noogie is up to 17.8%, and Oreo, debuts at 0.2%.
Nice. Well, can't wait to write that up, and I love hype beasting that stuff. Like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
You won't believe what Oreo starts out at. Mind-blowing numbers.
Yeah. You asked if I had anything else. Nope. Just I hope everyone has a good week. I keep forgetting today's Monday, but just stay safe, everyone. Like, thoughts and prayers to everyone out there. Like, everyone is in my heart right now. I'm a very emotional guy.
What a terrible day.
Oh, today sucks. I mean, Tom Petty, Las Vegas. I mean, it's all we've been thinking about today. So
yeah,
it's been a rough start to the week.
Yeah, terrible start to the week. Yikes.
So yeah.
I don't want to go into anything else. I know people don't like it when we talk politics. I come here for the tech, Kellen. I come here for the tech.
Exactly.
Stick to tech.
We will stay in our lane and let those talk about that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Everyone, yes, please stay safe out there. There's some shitheads in this world, that's for sure.
Family friendly, come on.
Can't always be family friendly when there's terrible humans on this planet.
Yes, all right.
All right, Google event is Wednesday. We'll have I don't know if I'll have a little live blog or not. I'll be there. It'll be live streamed. There'll be so much stuff. It'll be an escape from the terrible world that we live in for a short time, I'm sure.
My goodness. All right.
All right. Good. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Peace.